Hey guys, Pavise here with another off the cuff, random, ramble, rant, whatever these things are. And today we're talking about beastars because it's good. For those who don't know, beastars is how do I describe beastars? It's a Netflix anime that released last year. I don't even know when last year it released, but it depicts a world in which herbivores and carnivores. It's a furry world, okay? Think Zootopia, but like edgy. It's edgy Zootopia is the world. All these animals live together in this world, and they're all anthropomorphic, um, and they live together in a world and a society. Anyways, so yeah, that's the general premise of Stars in terms of the world. But it stars a wolf called Legacy. Legacy, 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 Degrassi, the next generation. Yeah, it's I'll say Legacy. Uh, Stars a wolf called Legacy. He's a very mild mannered, very naive, mild mannered, low key, doesn't get into trouble, doesn't cause any trouble. He kind of just goes with where the flow, goes with wherever the world takes him. Until one day, while while on watch duty for his club, he all of a sudden begins to awaken to his carnivore side, to his feral instincts, which tell him to maim, kill, and eat herbivores. And the core battle that takes place within him is him trying to battle, come to understand, come to grip with the darkness inside him, and come to understand who he is. And that isn't made easier by the fact that he starts to develop feelings for this bunny called Haru. Um, in fact, he often confuses his awakening in terms of his feral instincts with his love for Haru, and trying to understand of why he's trying to get closer to Haru. Is it because he likes her? Is it because he wants to eat her? It's this core fundamental battle that he has to go through and come to grips with throughout the course of the show. And Legacy is the star of this show. Legacy, it's probably one of my favorite fictional characters I've ever seen in anime. He's relatable, he's likable, he's he's interesting, he's funny, he's he's just an absolute joy to watch on screen, honestly. And his development is so much fun to watch. It's not linear. Like, he doesn't get from point A to point B like in a line. He's constantly taking a step forward, a step back, rethinking, another step forward. Maybe that wasn't the right step, a step to the side. Throughout the entire series, he's constantly rethinking, reevaluating, trying to understand himself. And that battle, that struggle to do that is just so so awesome to watch and so entertaining. And it's a very his self-reflection and how he's trying to understand and come to grips with both himself and the world he is in is very relatable. Now, there's other parts of the show that I also find enjoyable. The show is constantly almost begging. It's not over the top with it, but it's constantly, it's just begging to be compared to our reality, in terms of our dynamics between race, our dynamics between genders, just the way the world is, and the way the world is in Base Stars and the way our world is constantly being like begging comparison. Um, I'm not gonna go too deep into that because because I don't want to get too deep into political talk on this channel, but just know that it'll leave you with a lot of food for thought, in terms of the way you look at the world, or at least it did for me. It definitely, at least forced me to look at the world through perspectives that I hadn't looked through in a while or were completely new to me. And that was really interesting, and also just made it even more enjoyable and more compelling to watch. So yeah, Beastars, a personal, interesting. Wow, that's the least descriptive thing you could have said. A personal, dark, relatable struggle to find who you are in a world that seems just so against you, as well as trying to understand who you are, let alone the world. Yeah, Beastars, it's good.